Hey, Leroy, turn it on. Okay, Uncle Shady.
You're listening to BWWR, the Banger Worldwide Radio Network.
The John Lebang Show has been known to make people laugh, sing, think, scream, throw things in rage, and generally lose their minds. Listener discretion is advised.
Scheduled programming to bring you a show on the edge. Broadcasting worldwide and out to the greater universe, you're listening to the John Lebang Show.
Greetings, Earthlings, and alert the media. Welcome to the John Lebang Show. Hope you're doing well, ladies and gentlemen. Wanted to thank you for joining me this evening. A lot of good things in the news. You know, you got Harvey out there. You got Harvey Wallbanger. I probably shouldn't put that Harvey Wallbanger next to it. They're going to start thinking the banger is a bad word, and then I might be getting in trouble and getting hit with some kind of weird sexual harassment suit that happened years ago that I never really did, or that I didn't think I was doing anything wrong with, and some girl got mad at me and I'm in trouble. That's how it's going these days. But Harvey got arrested. Oh, Harvey Weinstein got arrested. Officially. He went in there and just turned himself in. He's charged with rape. Then we got Morgan Freeman. Yep, Morgan Freeman out there. All those weird videos. Cosby. We got Cosby and Spacey. It's like, when did we forget that Hollywood was filled with a bunch of dirtbag scum weirdos? Now, all of a sudden, years later, we can't tolerate the weirdos anymore in Hollywood. I mean, you're going to have to clear out 3/4 of Hollywood. And then are you going to have any good actors? I mean, scumbags are really good at acting. They act like they're nice people, but behind the scenes they're not. That's why they're so good at acting. They do it in their real life. But that's in the news. Harvey, all over the place. Harvey, or Morgan. Of course, the NYPD thanks the brave survivors for their courage in coming forward and seeking justice. I don't know why they waited so long to seek justice. Did you have to go beyond some kind of statute of limitations before you could report the scumbags that are in Hollywood? I don't know. See, this is an interesting problem we're having now. We knew Hollywood was filled with a lot of weird people. We knew about the casting couch. I mean, that was the defense of Harvey. He didn't invent the casting couch. I have to agree with him. You know, you hate agreeing with a scumbag like Harvey Weinstein. But when his lawyer used that part of the defense, which I don't know how they're, whatever, one by one, we're seeing a systematic dismantling of all our popular childhood and our early movie going experience history. I mean, you got Cosby and Morgan Freeman, Spacey, Harvey. Then Ian McClellan says half of Hollywood is gay. So apparently Harvey and Morgan, Spacey, and all the other ones being accused, I think the only one that's being accused that's gay is Mr. Sulu, George Takei. You know, I never know how to pronounce it because I don't know if I've ever heard him pronounce his own name, and I've heard it pronounced 40 different ways probably. So if Ian McClellan is right and half of Hollywood is gay, then these people that they're busting right now from Hollywood are from the half that isn't gay, except for George Takei, who's being accused by some young man. That's the big news. Harvey, Morgan, and all, we knew they were scumbags. But I have to worry a little bit because, I was using Harvey Wallbanger. I don't want to put banger in there anywhere because then people will think I'm being weird. I mean, is my name too sexy, by the way? Because obviously you can't do anything sexy anymore as a male, anyways. And I don't want to make people upset. So I'm asking you: is my name too sexy? Because I don't want to come off as some weird. I don't want to come off like Harvey Wallbanger and Morgan Freeman and Cosby and Spacey. Of course, if my name was sexy enough, I would be up there with them. If I did the things that they did, I would probably have gone further in the entertainment industry. But I couldn't fall to the level of the people who want to be part of the entertainment world. No matter how much I enjoy what I do and what I did in the past with the music and all, I could never go to the levels, pay the price, sell my soul, whatever metaphor you wish to choose, to get up to that level. We had opportunities, mostly in music, but we have had opportunities, but it was like, no, I don't think so, man. You guys are weird. And I never got into the weird, although now everything's weird. So is my name too sexy for anybody? I mean, I hope not. I know I'm not sexy anymore. I got the, you got the extra package here down below because, you eat too much. The stuff you're not supposed to eat. We'll get to that a little bit later because apparently there's a new study out saying anything you like to eat is probably going to cause cancer. So you might as well not eat any of that stuff that you like. We had the armed bystanders out there kill a shooter at a restaurant. That didn't make the news. I don't think that made the news. Did it make the news? Did you hear about the armed bystanders out there in Oklahoma? Yeah, a man opened fire with a handgun at a restaurant and bar from the outside, hitting 3 people. And some innocent bystanders came in and they had their handguns and they took the son of a gun out. That didn't make the news, did it? That didn't make the big time news, I'm sure. Because that doesn't fit with the mainstream media agenda. Right now it's Harvey, and Morgan Freeman. We just got to hope that these two gentlemen that actually took out the bad guy don't get in trouble in their own state. But if this continues and if we see a rise of, citizens who are willing to step up and defend other citizens, we may see an actual decrease in the nut jobs trying to shoot everybody up from the outside when they don't know who's going to fire back at them. We had this incident just here recently in Detroit, like Wednesday or something of this week, where somebody's been shooting up a person's house. They firebombed it. Well, they randomly shot at the house, or we shouldn't say randomly, because they are obviously being targeted for something, whatever it is. I mean, those are great neighborhoods where all this stuff happens anyways. You have shining examples of human existence right there. A young child gets hit in the head and dies because nobody is taking care of these people down there that are ruling these magnificent areas. So maybe we need a few more innocent bystanders sitting there with their guns out, ready to fire back at these jerks all over the place. until this crap stops happening. Because the cops only get there after the fact, more times than not. All the action has pretty much been done by the time the cops get there. No offense to the police department, that they don't get called to something unless they get a call. And no one's going to preemptively call, hey, we're going to go shoot up this place. You want to meet us there so you can fire back at us? That doesn't normally happen. The bad guys, no matter how many laws are in place, the bad guys never follow the law and never do the right thing. So maybe if we have some armed citizenry out there who can shoot back at these guys right away, immediately, they might think twice before going out there and doing these stupid acts. Sometimes you got to beget violence with violence. It sucks. But we're in a screwed up world. Nothing is the way it should be. We're about ready to take a break, so I don't want to get into too many other things. But later on, we're going to talk about how Sweden has put out an emergency pamphlet, and we'll tell you what that's about. We're also going to be talking about how there are alarming drought conditions in the Southwest, and that's making news, but the overflooding here in the Midwest doesn't really count as much. So we might get into that. We might talk about the internet a little bit. And of course, we're going to talk about those bad things that you love to eat, ladies and gentlemen. Those things that you love to eat now, everything that you love to eat and drink is going to cause cancer. It's a bad thing. All that and more on the other side of this, ladies and gentlemen. Please stay tuned. Listen to our sponsors. Please help support them, because when you support them, they will support us. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere now.
John will be right back right after this.
Yes, he will. Check out the new book from Derek Shelmerdine,
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
It tells the story of rock and roll from its roots right up until the mid-70s punk.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Not just the music, but also the events that shaped the music.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
It includes the backgrounds to recording sessions, singles, album releases, births and deaths, epic concerts, and festivals.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Shelmerdine has made a painstaking effort to document pretty much every event that would prove significant in shaping popular music.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Purchase the book at www.rockandrollunraveled.com. Follow him at Twitter at R&R Unraveled, and look him up on Facebook at Rock and Roll Unraveled.
Rock and Roll Unraveled.
By author Derek Shelmerdine.
Available now.
Hey man, you're listening to the John the Bank Show, man. That's good, because that means you ain't stupid. Oh, that's huge. So huge. Oh, huge.
Mr. President,
What is it?
President Putin is on the line for you, sir.
Tell him I'll call him back. I'm in the middle of something right now.
He says it's urgent, sir.
Stormy, we'll have to continue this later. Agent Pierce.
Yes, Mr. President.
Please escort the young lady out.
Yes, Mr. President.
Take her out the secret way.
Yes, Mr. President.
Then inform Jack Bauer I want to talk to him.
Yes, Mr. President.
All right, Ditzy, put him on.
President Putin, you're on the line with Mr. Donald.
Lad, how you doing?
I wanted to know what you intend to do about North Korea.
I'm working on it, Vlad. That little pudgy guy's a tough cookie. He's always wanting something more. Deal's never good enough.
I advise you to deal with it very soon.
I'm doing my best, but I got a huge amount of things on the plate at the moment.
Do not waste time, Mr. President.
I'll call Kim right now.
Very well. Goodbye, Mr. President.
Talk to you later, Vlad. Ditzy,
Yes, Mr. President.
get Kim Ding Dong on the phone for me.
He's not accepting our calls, Mr. President.
Well, keep trying. I've got to use the presidential retreat, if you know what I mean.
Yes, Mr. President.
I better tweet a new status. This is the Donald dropping a deuce right now. How's that, Nancy Pelosi? Hashtag drop it like a deuce.
You're listening to the John Lebang Show.
It's hydroponic radio for your brain, man.
Feel smarter yet? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're doing well. Our next little topic of interest. Sweden puts out an emergency pamphlet amid Russian fears. The Swedish government on Monday presented an emergency pamphlet to prepare millions of citizens in the event of war, natural disaster, or cyber attack amid growing tensions between Russia and the Western allies. It's entitled, If Crisis or War Comes. The brochure is published in 13 languages at the request of the government and gives advice to how to take shelter, what food to store, and what information to trust. Government information, of course. You always want to trust what the government is telling you because they're always going to tell you the truth. It was sent to 4.8 million Swedes between May 28th and June 3rd. It's a pamphlet basically saying, you know what? 20 pages documenting, outlining, and giving simple instructions to threats which the Swedes may face in such things as military conflict, natural disaster, cyber, and terrorist attacks. Now, I keep going back into history, and I'm like, well, the Swedes don't get involved in very many wars. When they do, usually the money is shifted through them, so they, even though they may not be directly involved with the war, they seem to benefit, you know? They're always, they stay out of trouble. You know, that's a part of the world that we don't spend a lot of time talking about. But those Swedes over there, man, they've got something going. They've been protected from a lot of different things over time. Now they're putting out a war pamphlet. Guess they're saying, you guys are screwed now. Somebody's going to actually come into and invade or something. They're worried about Russia. Everybody's worried about Russia. Russia. And there are problems there. But a lot of that has been brought on by the West. You know what? We shouldn't be sticking our nose into their allies and expecting them to just ignore it. We get involved in things like Syria. For whatever reason we did, there are a host of reasons that the powers that be say we're there. But for whatever reason we're in Syria, that's a Russian ally, which means they have a protection pact between each other and they're going to defend each other. That would be like North Korea invading South Korea. We'd help South Korea. That'd be like China invading Japan. We have to help Japan because we have a treaty there. Unless we just say the heck with you guys. I mean, then that kills our word on all our treaties, doesn't it? But here we have Sweden putting out an emergency pamphlet because they think something big's coming. Something big might be coming. Everybody's prepping themselves for war. Last time they did that was 1961 during the Cold War. Maybe it's just to get everybody hyped up and scared. Tough crap if it happens, guys. This is it. We're going to give you 20 pages. And let me ask you, Lee, is that enough to prepare you in case war or natural disaster? 20 pages. What do they just put? Simple instructions? You need a military survival guide if you're going to deal with war or natural disasters. You got to learn what plants you can eat and what plants you can't eat. You got to learn how to build something. A 20-page pamphlet isn't going to tell you to do much. It's going to be like, Well, get some food. Have some water handy. Just in case. I mean, it's for the dumb people. That's what it is. They put out the 20-page pamphlet for the dumb people. Get food. Have food ready in case something bad happens. Because something bad may happen one day. You never know. Chances are. Make sure you have some water and some Band-Aids. Make sure they're the Star Wars type of Band-Aids. Those are cool. Maybe you can get Finding Nemo Band-Aids. That would be nice. Make sure you have some extra batteries, a flashlight, a couple candles maybe, a parka, some long underwear in case you're in one of those places that's cold. I mean, really, a 20-page pamphlet, that's supposed to prepare you in case nuclear war happens with Russia or some kind of natural disaster where some geostorm happens. That's like the government actually, they're acting like they're doing something. That makes them feel better, Could you imagine the committee? Well, what do we do? There might be war here. Might be aliens showing up. We should probably put out a pamphlet. Well, how many pages? I don't know. We don't want to spend too much money. Guys got any ideas?
Well, how about 20 pages?
You sure that's enough?
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. 20 pages. We can just tell them to get some of this and that and the other thing.
All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Shut up. We don't want to hear about it. How much is this going to cost?
I can make the pamphlets out of recycled green energy paper. Costs more than it would if we used real paper.
Isn't that real paper?
Yeah, but it's used twice or 3 times before.
Oh, well, hey, whatever works better. Make it the cheapest way possible. How about we just put it out on the internet and they have to print it?
Now, see, that's a good thinking.
20 pages of anything is not enough information to set you up to be prepared for every possible disaster that might happen. But good on Sweden for doing such a thing. Then we have the alarming drought conditions in the U.S. Southwest. But is it really alarming, ladies and gentlemen? How many years has it been now that we have heard that the Southwest is going through a drought? I mean, it's 5, 6, 7, I don't know how many years. But it's like immigration reform. We keep hearing that over and over and over, and they're supposed to fix it. They can't fix it. It's like so when we talk about drought and it's alarming, I mean, it's been doing this for a while now. It should have been alarming 3 or 4 or 5 years ago. We up here, on the other hand, I mean, their rivers and their water holes are drying up all over. Up here, we're rained on. We can't go 4 or 5 days without rain. It's impossible. My poor garden is so muddy. I tried to put a couple things in yesterday. And it was like working in the mud pits of hell. You'd step and you'd sink 3 inches. You'd step, you sink 2 inches. I was worried I was going to sink myself all the way to China. And with their working conditions over there, I thought, well, maybe that's a good idea. Just kidding. So if we can find some way to maybe shift some of the rain over there, I mean, government's listening. Hello, Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump, if you're listening, Southwest needs water. Here in the Midwest, we have too much water. Can you talk to NASA or whoever is doing all the geoengineering on the planet? Maybe use HARP, or maybe ask the Russians to use their scalar technology. If you're not familiar with that, Mr. President, you just go back to the 1961 speech of former President John F. Kennedy. Go to his speech at the United Nations. He'll tell you all about the weather manipulation.
We shall propose further cooperative efforts between all the nations in weather prediction and eventually in weather control.
So maybe somebody in the high levels of government can figure a way to shift the water out of here for just a little while. We're not asking long. Give us about 2 or 3 weeks of no rain. Give me 2 weeks of no rain just so my poor land can dry up a little bit. I'll take a little 2-week dry up and shift that weather. I don't know how you do it. You guys do it. I see the chemtrails before the rain. If you don't see the chemtrails, you're not paying attention. So just shift that over to the southwest for a week. Give them some rain, damn it. Being snarky again tonight. But this is the best we got in the news. This is what's in the news cycle. We could be talking about Harvey some more if you want to talk about Harvey. Perverts in Hollywood. Ooh. We're going to wait till the next segment to talk about the things that you love that you probably shouldn't be loving because apparently it's causing cancer for you. Or it's going to cause cancer. Just great. We'll tie that in with a few other things. We're going to talk about gas prices a little bit later on in the show. Oh, well, you know what? Let me hit on this because we have a little time left. Apparently, they found a mysterious wolf-like creature and shot it in north-central Montana. It had this long grayish fur. It had a large head and extended snout. The animal, they say, shares many traits and characteristics as a wolf does, but its ears were way too large. Its legs and body were too short. Its fur was uncharacteristic of that common to a wolf. So far, the exact species of animal is a complete mystery. They can't figure it out. Well, maybe, what are the other traits that, do they relate to some other animal? Because couldn't it be this is just me thinking, couldn't it be a possible crossbreeding situation? Evolution. Wouldn't that have happened? A form of evolution. Two different species are out there in the wild, hanging out, and they possibly cross paths with each other and mate. That doesn't sound outside the realm of possibility. Anybody who's been around a dog knows they'll hump anything. It might be a half Sasquatch, half wolf. Maybe it's a werewolf. Maybe we found existence of the first evidence, I should say, of a werewolf. I don't know. Anyways, we got to take a quick break right now, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're enjoying this evening's broadcast. When we come back, more headed your way. Stay tuned. Don't move a muscle.
John Lebang Show. Right back.
With lots of fun and excitement. Yes. Pane in the Glass, commercial and residential window cleaning for a beautiful sparkling shine that's crystal clear. Call Pane in the Glass Window Cleaning. You can find them on Facebook at Pane in the Glass. CRRM, CarePoint Billing Services. Their billers and managers are all dedicated to working for you to increase your profits. For more information, call CRRM at 248-579-3805. CRRM, CarePoint Billing Services.
Powerful, epic music by Toothbox Row. Life-changing lyrics come in every style, empowering humanity to finally unlock the chains of bondage. Experience the edgy side of positive music and rock your world today. From Primal to Divine, available now at sassyalternativemusic.com.
I'd like to take a quick second here to tell you about our new sponsor, Quality One Painting. For interior and exterior painting needs, call Tom at Quality One, 313-982-2986. Tom will give you free estimates, senior discounts, and I can tell you from meeting the gentleman, he's one of the nicest guys on the face of the planet. So for a quality paint job with a professional attitude, call Tom at Quality One Painting. That's 313-982-2986. 313-982-2986. Quality One Painting.
Fans, do you need a video for your brand new song but don't have a lot of money? Then contact John Lebang. His reasonable rates, professional look, and fast turnarounds will help get that song off the ground. Contact him at jlebang.com.
If you are elderly, disabled, receiving SSI or Medicaid, and you have a medical need or require assistance with daily housework, shopping, grooming, medication, you may qualify for housekeeping at no cost. Call now. VIP Home Healthcare, 248-579-3805. VIP Home Healthcare, there when you need them. That's 248-579-3805.
Hey, man, it's at the bottom of the hour, man. Do you know where your kids are, man?
If you want to contact the John Lebang Show, feel free to send an email to jlebang@live.com. And if you're on Twitter, look him up at John Lebang. And don't forget to go to his Facebook page at The John Lebang Show. Now here's John.
So apparently, ladies and gentlemen, no amount of alcohol, sausage, or bacon is safe according to the cancer experts out there. Throw it out, everybody. No more bacon for you. No more pork sausage. No breakfast sausage or French sausage or Chinese sausage or whatever sausage there is out there. Ladies, if you like sausage, you can't eat it anymore. Don't put sausage in your mouth. It's bad for you. It's going to cause cancer. And you can't drink beer and you can't drink wine. You can't drink whiskey because it's all bad for you. All bad for you. According to these experts, even small amounts of processed meat and booze increase the risk of the hosts of cancers outlining in the World Cancer Research Fund. Guidelines they update every decade, ladies and gentlemen. Seems like the Brits are hit the worst too, because Brits have been told to banish favorites such as ham, burgers, and hot dogs. So not only can you not have sausage anymore, and we know how much you ladies love sausage, but now you can't have a hot dog either. So if you didn't want the big sausages, you didn't want the giant kielbasa's, because you were worried there was too much cancer in there, you can't have the little tiny hot dogs either. You can't have the little cocktail weenies. None of that. All bad for you. It's all going to cause cancer for you. So don't do it. Stay away from those. You're probably better off eating tuna. Get a zucchini now and then, some carrots, a banana. Eat those things. Put those things in you. You are what you eat, right? And you don't want to become a sausage. You don't want to be bacon. I mean, it seems like every few years, and according to these people, every 10 years, they find new things that we enjoy to eat as human beings. They tell us it's bad for us. So what are we supposed to do? They said even small amounts cause cancer. How many burgers have you eaten? How many hot dogs have you eaten in your life? Might as well keep eating them now. You're doomed, according to these people. Just enjoy life. Pile that bacon on. You know what? When you order pizza, tell them you want extra bacon and sausage. Load on the sausage. Tell them you want some hot dogs on there. Tell them throw the ham. Why not? I mean, you've already been eating it. So, but moms, don't feed hot dogs to your kids because that's like killing them. You don't want your kid to have cancer. So don't feed your children hot dogs or burgers, bacon especially. Keep that away from them. Don't drink any alcohol. Don't even show them what alcohol is. When you go to the store and say, Mom, what's that? Say it's poison. It's cancer. But you keep drinking it behind their back. Why not? You've already been doing it. And it says you're going to get it anyways, according to these people. So we save the next generation and we party out the rest of the way because we've doomed ourselves. The funny thing is I don't eat much sausage because I don't eat pork or beef. Very little. Every once in a while it gets snuck in there. Not usually by me, by somebody else, and I can't help but find out after the fact that it was in there or while I'm eating it. You know, nobody tells you bacon's in there until you eat it. Well, I don't mind turkey bacon, but I would bet you, because they said that processed turkey bacon is going to cause cancer. So, you know, you're screwed. We're screwed. Even small amounts, they say. So, like, okay, so small amounts. What's that, a drink? How many beers have you had in your lifetime? We're all screwed. The World Cancer Research Fund just said everybody's screwed. Unless you're a vegetarian or some kind of vegan, and you might as well be screwed if you're a vegan. No offense, vegans, but I've tasted your food. I don't know how you do it. Sucks. And I don't even eat pork or beef. I like turkey. There's nothing better than a turkey on Thanksgiving. Greatest thing ever. Reveling in the fact that I can eat a turkey and then pass out because I'm so damn tired because I ate too much. Guess gluttony is a bad thing. We're going to get to that. Because apparently there's a staggering world obesity problem on top of everything else. That's right. So if you don't want to follow the 10 health guidelines by the World Cancer Research Fund, even though pretty much all of us have killed it by now. One is be healthy, you know, at a healthy weight. 2 is be physically active. That means, I don't know what that means anymore. You know, you're outside working a lot, you know, doing things in your garden and stuff. They don't call that physical activity as much as they say you got to run. You got to take a walk. I'm like, you dig holes for a while. You try to slop through the mud that we have here in Michigan. Tell me that's not physically active. Eat a diet rich with whole grains, vegetables, fruits, and beans. These guys just don't want anybody to eat meat. That's what it is. Maybe they're part of PETA. Limit consumption of fast foods and other processed foods. Well, you know, keep away from the sugars. Yeah, of course. But we get to this world obesity problem. In 27 years from now, they're saying almost a quarter of the global population will be obese, according to researchers on Wednesday, warning of the mounting medical bills. So the world itself is overweight. Does that mean we've solved the hunger crisis? Because if we're worried about a worldwide epidemic of obesity, we must be eating well here on the world. So why are there places poverty-stricken with no food? But apparently to other researchers, so you got one research that tells you we're too fat. 1/4 of the population is going to be a fat person, obese as they call it. Judging words, I mean, would you rather be called obese or fat? Of course, if you're on those dating sites, you're probably, it's height, weight, proportionate. These days, being fat is that way. But we got an obesity problem, and they're not talking Western countries in general. They're saying the world. So in general, the entire world is an obesity problem. Yet we have people starving here in our own country, for that matter. We're not allowed to drink anymore because it's poisonous. You can't have beer, can't have wine, can't have sausage, ladies, can't have bacon, can't have ham. If just the smallest amount is going to cause some form of cancer somewhere in your body, because they're saying it's all forms of cancer, it's just not one form of cancer. It affects everything. Everything from ovary, liver, prostate, stomach, throat, bowel, breast, gallbladder, kidney. I mean, every kind of pancreatus. womb cancer, everything. Because you're eating bacon and sausage and ham and you're drinking beer and wine. See, on one hand, they tell us drink some wine because it's good for your heart. But it'll give you cancer. That's great. So, in other words, we can't eat or drink anything, but we got to drink water. And then you got to drink plants organically grown, which costs a whole lot more money. You ever think they all do this stuff to put some businesses out of business and then promote a certain agenda so that that form of business that's engaged in those kind of gain traction because we're forced into it. They use they twist everything to make us want to be a certain way. If everybody's doing it, folks, it must be right. That's the motto. Doesn't matter. And if you're not doing it, you're weird and something's wrong with you. Get with the program.
What difference at this point does it make?
Alcohol's bad for you, so we don't want anybody drunk again. But you can smoke pot because apparently that's okay. Take our prescription drugs. They tell you no processed meats are good for you, no processed foods, but processed medicine, that's good for you. Processed medicine. Trust the scientists when it comes to processed medicine. Don't trust the people who make your food. Could you live without sausages, ladies and gentlemen? Especially you ladies out there. And half of Hollywood. Half of Hollywood probably likes sausage too, according to Ian McClellan. So what is everybody going to do without sausages and bacon? All those industries are going to go out of business. There goes the pig and cow industry. Well, with the growing population of a certain religion, and they're wanting to have dominance over the rest of the religions, maybe we won't need any pork products in the future anyways. I just thought of that. That's an interesting bedfellow for those two separate agendas. Funny how things work together in certain ways. Anyways, folks, we're going to take a quick time out. We're moving right along here in the first hour. And stay tuned. More, including some gas prices, coming your way. Smoke them if you got them.
Because the John Lebang Show will be right back
after this.
That's guaranteed. Yes.
Pane in the Glass, commercial and residential window cleaning for a beautiful sparkling shine that's crystal clear. Call Pane in the Glass Window Cleaning. You can find them on Facebook at Pane in the Glass. Quality One Painting. For interior and exterior painting needs, call Tom at Quality One, 313-982-2986. Tom will give you free estimates, senior discounts, and I can tell you from meeting the gentleman, he's one of the nicest guys on the face of the planet. So for a quality paint job with a professional attitude, call Tom at Quality One Painting. That's 313-982-2986. 313-982-2986. Quality One Painting.
You're listening to the John Lebang Show.
It's better than some Thai stick, man.
Yes, and I bet you're loving it.
Hey, pass that over.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Shady's 5 Reasons. Tonight's topic is Shady's 5 Reasons Why the World Sucks. At number 5, stupid people on YouTube. These dumb bastards wouldn't know their ass from a hole in the ground. But because they're allowed to be on YouTube, the rest of us gotta suffer. At number 4, the stupid people driving down the road. One of the worst things that makes the world suck is that there are too many idiots driving on the road. And because government is hungry for money, they give everybody a license. And if they kill a few people, big deal. At number 3, all the ugly people that think they're beautiful. Whoever told you you were beautiful, they were lying. Please, no more selfies. Wear some clothes. Please don't show off those ugly boobs. And for dear God, don't wear your pajamas to the grocery store. At number 2, the executive jackass. This greedy bugger will live it up while the sales are good, but as soon as his bonus is hurting, he's gonna lay you off because he ain't making enough money. So that's tough for you. Go get yourself a job at Timmy Ho's and love it. And the number 1 reason why the world sucks. Everybody wants my money, and they don't care how broke I am, they gonna take it. Can't go anywhere without prices being out the roof. Gallon of paint, $60. What kind of crap is that? You're coloring your wall and that's worth $60? I don't think so. Go to the grocery store. You try to buy some bacon, although you're not supposed to be eating bacon, from what I hear. But that's like $5 for the pound of bacon. Go out to eat it, $11 for a stupid salad. You tell me 2 pieces of chicken and some lettuce and a little bit of tomato ain't worth $11, I'll tell you that. You got Calm Scam over there charging you too much for cable. The government wants money out of your pocket even though they did nothing for it. They say you've been working. Hell, give us some money. Talk about blackmail. Because if you don't, you go to jail or they take everything from you. Then you got the electrical company charging you too much. Hell, the power don't even stay on half the time. Then you see your water bill and you're like, damn, I didn't use that much water. I only take a shower every Saturday. Hell, that should be like $4. Then don't get me started on a phone bill. Barely use the damn thing, cost me $60 a month. Can't go to the movie without taking out a loan. Forget going on vacation. I wouldn't know what that is. When somebody says holiday, I say, what's a holla and how many days does it take? Well, I better go. I'm smelling the bacon cooking. That means it's time for my daily cancer routine. Thanks a lot for listening. Now back to John. You're listening to the John Lebang Show.
It's what's cool on radio.
And welcome back, my good friends. Thank you for being part of the John Lebang Show and being amazing supporters. We get a lot of really cool emails sent to the show. We get some hate mail lately. You know, you start talking about sex robots and sex toys in a negative connotation, and people get upset about that. You know, maybe the person who sends along hate mail like that probably might, you know, be in love with his sex doll or sex robot. Or, you know, sex dolls and then sex robots. And a side note here before I get into gas prices, because those two subjects are related. Not really. But the sex dolls are like the first phase of the sex robots, and now they're mechanical dolls. That's all they are. But I divert. I don't want to offend anybody and get some hate mail. I mean, for 30 seconds of commentary on sexual items that, you know, weird sexual items that people engage with. So the average gas prices are jumping again. 10 cents in the past week to about $3 a gallon. And they're blaming it on a host of things because they like to blame it on a host of things. They say it's largely due higher crude oil costs and the phasing in of summer-grade gasolines, which they say helps prevent smog, because we have to prevent smog in places like California because, you know, they got to control their smog problem. But I'm telling you, that's a bunch of hogwash, ladies and gentlemen. They like to come up with factors, little reasons, so you don't complain as much and you don't see the progression of how things work. But this is a very natural thing in the cycle of fuel and energy costs. Let's take you back to the Obama administration, if I may. In 2009, gas prices were pretty low when he took office, and they were dropping after hitting a pretty steep high, but they were dropping rapidly as the election approached. So during the Bush administration, the last days of it, last months of it, the gas prices fell dramatically. And then once President Obama took office, they started to tick up. Now, I could take the Bush administration out and say during the Obama's administration last months, they were coming down. Probably, in fact, the right up by the election, they were coming down. And then they started to tick up. Once the Trump administration got in office. And between 2009 and 2011, during the Obama administration, we had hit all-time highs with the price of gasoline at the pump. 2 years. The second year was when it got to a point where it was really expensive, and then it held there until his administration was through. There was an election there in the middle. The second one, you have an advantage as a president, as an incumbent, when you're running for re-election. Because you have the bully pulpit and your opponent does not. So that helps you maintain. And even if gas prices are high, you're okay. But now we're 2 years into the Trump administration and we're starting to see near $3 a gallon gas again. Again, 2 years in. If you go to the Bush administration, when they were in office, 2 years in, where had the gas prices gone comparative to when they got in office? They were buck something, $1.10, $1.20, back when Bush first got into office. And within the first 2 years, by the second year, basically the middle point of his first term, as we are with Trump and as with President Obama, the gas prices were hitting highs, sometimes all-time highs, but at least highs for a certain period of time. And that's what happens. It's a natural, well, let's remove the word natural. I'm trying to explain it to you in simple terms, but it becomes difficult at times because people don't grasp it. And I understand it's hard to grasp, but we're in the second year of a presidential term. And almost without exception, the last three presidents that have been in office, the gas prices about where Trump is in his administration, the gas prices are ticking up and they're looking to continue to go up. Or they're hitting highs. They never go down during this part of an administration. They don't need to. They don't need to get people out to the voting booth. And cheaper gas prices affects a little bit of that. So when they're talking about these things that affect the gas prices in the summer, you know they're not telling you the whole truth. The reason the gas prices are ticking up right now is because we're in the second year of an administration and gas prices really have no effect on any of the political system at this point. That's what I've been trying to say this whole time, and I couldn't find the right words to put it together. Because gas prices are high, it doesn't matter because it's not going to affect anything politically as of right now. Just like it wouldn't have done that during the Obama administration and during the Bush administration. And it had no effect. And that tells you one thing. They're in collusion with each other. The stuff starts going down when the incumbent is running out of time in his two-term cycle. Because it's been a while, ladies and gentlemen, since we had a one-term president. In fact, out of the last, 5, we've only had one of them that was a one-term. Reagan was 2, Bush 1 was 1. Clinton was 2, Bush 2 was 2. So really the Bushes had 3 years there. Obama had 2. And unless the Democrats can give you somebody of any real substance, Trump's going to win the next election. And the thing is, I don't see any real good choices coming out of the Democrat side of the aisle. And we can forget all the independents. You know, we have all these people, and I was one of them for a long time, that wanted a third party to do something to become strong. It's worthless. We're in a duality political system, or a system based on duality. You have the right and the left, as they say it. I say it's the left and the ultra-left. You know, the Republicans are socialists. None of them are preaching freedom. Name me 10 Republicans that preach individual liberty and freedom and the Constitution above all else. Can't do it. On the Democrat side, I don't think there's one, but if you can name me 2, I'll give you a prize. And you better have some good numbers. And trust me, I'm going to go. I will look at them and I will say, I don't think they're not a socialist. It's almost guaranteed that everybody on the Democrat side of the aisle is a socialist, if not communist or Marxist. They're the far left. Then we have the Republicans who are left of the Constitution. And see, that's my middle ground. Everybody else's middle ground is where the Democrats and Republicans split. But if they keep tilting left and left and left, the center line keeps moving left with it. And eventually it'll be so far left, it'll be communist. And you'll still think the Republicans are on the right. So longtime listeners of the John Lebang Show know when I speak right and left, I'm talking the center point is the Constitution. But look at the time, folks. Looks like we've run the clock up right to the end again. Please stay tuned for hour number 2 as we bring in our good friend Derek Shelmerdine. We're going to talk about the Monterey Pop or International Pop Music Festival, the first one. Talk about what artists were there. It'll be a great time. He's really knowledgeable. I'm going to let him pretty much host the show as I always do, and I just sit there and co-host and ask questions that I need answered. Maybe throwing a little quib here and there because, you know, that's the banger. So please stay tuned for that. If the station you're listening to, the John Lebang Show, do not play the hours consecutively, please go to their station's website, look at their schedule, and see when hour number 2 is coming your way. Don't forget to go to my website, ladies and gentlemen. That's www.jlebang.com. I want to thank all my affiliate stations, all my listeners, my subscribers on YouTube, my followers on Twitter, and everybody who is now becoming fans of the John Lebang Show on our latest social media endeavor, Steam It. Thank you guys all for joining us. And until the vibrations of my vocal cords reach your ears again, I'm John Lebang, signing off from the Banger Studios. See you next hour.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. Tune in again next week. Same time, same space, same station.